Okay. And you any special requests for anybody here? Lower back, okay. Stretch it out. Or I was going to do some strengthening tonight of the lower back and a bit of stretching. And chocolate, Anna. Yeah. I didn't catch what you were talking about. I heard you. Okay. I like it. Thank you. Okay, so you can go ahead and lie down when you're ready. And you can start to undo. We're going to explore the body through the element of water. So I can see, hey Deirdre, I can see some of you circling your toes, and Christine's doing a great example there, unscrewing the legs. So sensing and feeling your body's connection to the physical earth. Right, and we sense that through the floor that's underneath us, the architecture of the building is resting on the earth. So once we have that sense of security, that sense of safety, then we can begin to soften and open. And if you don't feel safe, you're going to be contracted. So reminding the body of the support of the earth, maybe we can soften and open a little bit. Through all the muscles, through all the tissues, surrendering our weight into gravity. And just sensing and feeling the body's imprint. And you might think of if the body was filled with water, if the body was a container. And all your movements throughout the day have been stirring up the waters. And now that those waters are beginning to settle into the back body. Feeling the waves of the water. And sensing how the water expands. So can you travel into your feet and allow your feet to soften, open. And if you can, if it works for you, you can imagine that inside the body is a seascape filled with water inside. And you're traveling or swimming through the ankle, exploring all the little caves of space, swimming up through the lower leg, the knees. Swimming up through the thighs. Swimming up through the pelvic floor, flesh of the bottom, traveling down into the pelvic bowl. And use your hands here if you like, rubbing your belly. We really allow the belly to soften and open, we can feel a lot of pleasure there. Think of how we used to do that as children, rub the belly with a sense of safety and comfort. Allow your attention then to travel up under the organs, under the diaphragm. Maybe seeing these organs like little sea creatures under the cave of the diaphragm, the double dome. And then travel up above the diaphragm and sense and feel into the heart, the lungs. And sensing and feeling up into your shoulders. Allowing your attention to flow down the two rivers of the arms into the rivulets of the fingers and thumbs. And travel up into the neck, that cave of space at the throat, teeth in the jaw. And traveling up and sensing and feeling the moisture in your mouth. The two eyes, the watery nature of your eyes. And your brain. And then allow your attention to expand out, sensing and feeling the whole waterscape. Maybe even imagine that you're listening to the sounds of the water in the body. And I can even hear my own guts gurgling at the moment. And just begin to notice now the wave of the breath. Breath coming in and going out. And we don't have the intention to change the breath. We're just allowing it. And this is a really important skill to develop in our yoga practice. Watching the breath without trying to change it. Becoming familiar with the natural ebb and flow. Noticing the pause at the top of the inhalation. The wave comes in, there's a pause. And then as the wave goes out, there's another pause. And then maybe you have your hands on your belly, or you're simply going to bring attention to the contents of the belly. And begin to relax as you inhale. Allow the belly to rise up as if it's being filled with the water from the wave. And that wave irrigates and softens the tissues, your guts, hips, your low back. And you just allow it to go out. Watch the full exhale. Watch the wave go completely out. Notice the pause. And the next time you inhale, you invite that sense of relaxation a little bit deeper down. So you're traveling deeper into the bowl, the pelvis. As if you're drawing the wave, just like the tide comes in, the next wave goes a little bit further. And there's that little pause. And then wave goes out again. Next time the wave comes in, try relaxing right down, pelvic floor, from the inner pelvic floor to the outer genitals, perennials. And the image that I'm getting here is the sea anemone on a rock, and as the wave meets the sea anemone, the tentacles open, and then as the wave goes out, the tentacles close. So the more we can relax and open the muscles and soften, open, expand everything, the more then we can strengthen and activate the muscles. So as we inhale right down, observe now how it feels on a very subtle level inside the pelvic floor, inside the pelvic diaphragm, inside the belly. What happens on the exhalation? Each inhale, we're relaxing deeper, deeper, deeper. Okay, now as you're breathing, you might begin to bring your attention to the toes. And if you have knees bent, you might lay the feet, the legs flat. And as you inhale, you're drawing your toes back towards the knees, just letting the toes spread, widen, open. And as you exhale, point. Keep going like that. Inhale, drawing your toes back a little further, widening and spreading your toes. And then as you exhale, pointing your toes. And you might notice now, front of your ankle, get a nice stretch. I'm reaching my arms overhead. Inhale, draw the toes back. Maybe this time, draw the little toe back towards the ear. And exhale, point the toes and slide the heels back in towards the bottom. Now, drop the knees,
towards each other, and inhale, sliding the legs straight. Right, so your toes are initiating the movement. Exhale, point toes, slide in. And see if you can keep your movement fluid. Inhale, knees together. And slowly slide out. The feet like two little sea creatures. Exhale, point. And on the little toe side edge, slide in. Okay. And this time, keep your feet in. We're going to work a little bit here with the movement of the pelvis tonight. So feet flat to the floor. And with your next inhale, connecting to that wave breath again. Can you turn the tail downwards towards the floor so that the low back arches away? So I can put my hand in under my back. This is arching. And then as I exhale, curl the tail up towards the ceiling so that the low back flattens. We're just going to take a few more breaths like that, rocking the pelvis. Inhale, curl tail downwards towards the floor so that the low back arches away from the ground. And as you exhale, turn the tail up so that the low back flattens. Now you could imagine, keep going with your own breath. You could imagine the wave coming in, and the pelvis gets rocked forwards, pelvic floor relaxes, and as you exhale, lower back meeting the ground, the pelvic floor rises, the wave gathers in the low back. Just do a couple more with your own breath. Inhale, letting the pelvis rock forwards. Just feeling the subtle movements of your pelvis. This is quite a smooth movement. Now we're going to do this from side to side. So if you think about your pelvis, it attaches to your spine here. This is called sacrum. So two joints on either side where the spine attaches to your pelvis. And then the pelvis meets the front. Two pubic bones come together. There's a piece of cartilage in between. So we have two halves to the pelvis. We're going to see if we can move two halves. With your inhale, can you send just the left knee forwards over the toes? So you're not moving the feet. Keep the feet on the ground. And you're sending the left knee forward. So just that left pelvic half. And then as you exhale, release that left pelvic half back into gravity. And we'll do the other side. Can you see that? Inhale, right knee goes forwards over the toes. That right side of your pelvis lifts. And as you exhale, you release the right side. You really relax it. Maybe imagine the weight of the wave gathering in the back of the pelvis. And continue. Inhale, sending your left knee forwards over the toes so that the left pelvic half lifts. And then as you exhale, you relax the weight of the pelvis back into gravity. Does this make sense to everybody? So we're continuing at your own pace, do it another couple of times, sending the knee forward, let the pelvic half rise, and as you exhale, really inviting that side of the pelvis to really drop and relax. This is bringing some subtle movement into the sacroiliac joint where the spine is. Okay, so some other movements of the pelvis then. Can we change and imagine that we're circling or swishing water around in the pelvis or circling the pelvis on the ground? And so only one part of your pelvis is in contact. And just swish. That makes sense. So the word pelvis actually means basin. So you might think of pelvis here like a basin, and you're swishing it around in a circle at the bottom of the basin, swishing the water around. And then change direction. Now go nice and slow and really try to sense and feel each part of the movement, because you may find that some parts of the movement are very clear in your perception, or some parts of the movement that feel very fluid, and then there's parts of the hips that feel stiff. This is precisely why we're doing this, to bring some more fluidity into the stiff parts. Make sense?
Okay, and then the third movement, did you change directions? Sure, and change direction if you haven't. The third movement then is the figure of 8. Right, remember that one? I'm just drawing the figure of 8 on the back of my pelvis there. So it's like the previous movement where we're circling, but this time we're drawing or swishing water around the figure of 8. So you circle, I'm circling the water into the left outer edge up to the top of the left pelvis, down through the sacrum, right down to the center, over to the bottom right, to the top of the center, bottom left, over the top left, down to the center. Again, trying to keep everything relaxed here. Sometimes low back pain is just simply the muscle has frozen in the low back around something. We're learning to relax that flesh of the low back. Now you can change direction here now. And you might not want to, sometimes you just got into the groove of going in one direction, or the other direction. And again, here you might find that the movement is very fluid. Right side or one part of the hip stick very together. So try to be present with the parts where it's not fluid. That makes sense. And I see some of you are letting the knees go a bit floppy, let them gather some momentum. A little bit. Might change direction again. So I'm taking the feet a little bit wider and just change the direction. Notice how this makes your low back feel. For me, it really helps my low back if I get any sort of tension in the low back. And then we'll change the movement again. So you can take the arms out. We're going to turn this into windshield wiper. Take the feet wide, nice and wide. My feet are as wide as my yoga mat. And then as I exhale, letting the knees pour over to one side, the head goes in the opposite direction. Inhale, let the water gather in the back of the pelvis. Really encourage it to release, relax. Before you exhale, let the water pour from the pelvis down into the knees. And inhale, slowly return. The water regathers and refills the back. And just keep going with the flow of your own breath. And you're moving nice
and fluid. You might be moving very slowly at first. Honoring the pause at the top of the inhalation and the pause at the bottom of the exhalation. So what I mean is allowing the body to pause as the breath pauses. And those moments of pause can be a great time to really soften and open. Find yourself, okay, relax, wide open. Deepen your connection to this moment. Now we're going to change the movement again. Head and knees flow in the same direction. Fingertips trailing in an arc overhead. So if the knees and the head are going to the left, then it's the right fingertips that are trailing to take you over, and then also to take you back onto your back. If the knees and the head are flowing to the right, it's the left fingers that are trailing. To take you forwards and to take you back. Remind yourself you can bend the elbows to help the fingers trail. Bend the elbow, and that will help to relax the shoulder. Try to keep your attention fluid in your moment-to-moment experience. Softening, open. You might be rolling all the way onto the forehead. Now you've got your own pace. Right? You want to go faster, but keep your attention on your moment-to-moment experience. Preparing to come up then the next time you roll onto the side, put the top hand close by your face and lift your head. And then when you roll back, you put the head back down, relax the neck. Soften open. And maybe going a little bit higher each time. But really being present to the full flow of your experience. Going higher, maybe up to sit on him and then going all the way down. That's great, great. Letting it all go again and make sure. Softening and open. Okay, and maybe in the next one or two, then you'll prepare it all the way up. That's it. Now don't change, right? You can tend to think, okay, now it's over, right? But can you stay with your bodily experience as you come to sleep? And if you've landed like me, put your hands not rolling up through the center. Right, I'm just trying to. You're doing a great job because I gave you the eagle eyes. But, so I saw some of you. I said, okay, we'll come up to sit, and people were doing this lovely flow from side to side, and then they just went, what? When they heard come up to sit. And I know it's a habit, but that's the whole practice of doing yoga, is to create new habits, right, in our brain. So the transitions, paying attention to the transitions between poses. So if you've landed like this, put your hands back, slowly, and then slide your legs out, standing out.
keep a little bend in your knees. So if you straighten the legs all the way, just suck them back. And see if you can sit on your sit bone. So if your low back is rolling back, if you put your hands down and send the tail back a bit. If you can see me, I'm on the heels and flexing the toes back towards the knees. And try this, just drop the knees in, drop the knees down. Unscrewing the legs a little bit. You okay? Draw the heels in a little bit further. Unscrew. And then we're going to bring these over. Direction. Back. Right, can you get involved the breath again, exhaling over. Back. Exhaling over, and then you could take your feet a little bit wider if that works for you. Okay, now, so when you come over onto the hip, then the next time, take the back arm around, reach, and to the other side. Ooh, I got a click. Reach around, so we can do that another time. All right, some of you may know this variation. You come up off the hip, and then come up down. All down. Do it another once or twice. And then have a look at this variation. Okay, so come over onto the hip. I'm going to frame that front knee with the hands. And come off the hip, then tuck the back toes under. Do you see that? So pitch. Okay. See if you can roll back. Go to the other side. Keep the flow of the movement. Right. Hands frame the knee. Watch your knees now. If this doesn't suit your knees, come off the hip. You're resting on your back knee, toes tucked under, and lengthen the leg back. You pitch. Come out of it. Back onto the hip. Try it again on the other side. All right, so come off the hip. Now just pause there for a minute. Just if it's comfortable, and just lengthen your spine. Inhale, draw the back knee in a little bit as you round and leap up. And then exhale, slide the leg back. Slide forward. You got it. Inhale, draw the back knee in, round and reach out. And exhale, then the leg back. Then slide forward. And we'll try that. I find when I do this variation of pitching, it doesn't hurt my knee, so I quite like it. But if it does, listen to your body. If your knee doesn't like it, please feel free to remove it. You're framing the knee coming off the hip. Makes sense, Michael? Angry cat as you inhale and exhale, sends the knee, lengthen it out of the spine. Inhale, angry cats, drawing the knee in. And exhale, lengthen the leg back, extend the spine. And one more. Draw in. Angry cats. So you're rounding the back body and then lengthening your leg back and spine. That's great. Back to center now. Okay. All right, going to come up through a squat if you can. Okay. So draw the heels back towards the bottom as far as you can. Hands down behind your bottom. And if you can, walk the hands a little closer. Right, lean the head forwards and hands in. For some of you, this might be difficult. Just let me know. Just stay there. I really like the sensation of that. Not everybody loves squats, so we'll come all the way up. Put your roots down through the feet. Come up. You might want to take yourself to All right, we became bipeds. We evolved from the floor. What are we doing for time? Okay. So just stand with your feet about hip distance. We did a little bit of toe dancing last week, did we?
And so,
Yeah. Lift, putting the big toes down, and then you can do a little bit of that. You might have to go down and manually, put all the toes down and lift the big toes, and then put your big toes down with the other toes. Right, so this is something you could play with. Does that make sense? When you're brushing your teeth in the morning. Yeah, that activates your feet. Lovely, isn't it? Okay, circle the knee. Some fluidity into your ankle joints. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. See how that affects the feet. Okay, then hands on the hips. Okay, now let's circle the hips. All the way back, all the way. Moving the hips, change direction. Okay, now keep the hips still, then soften the knees a little bit. Right, stick your tail back, and now circle your tail. Right, the bottom of the spine, that's it, and then change direction. Feel different? Yeah, try the figure of 8. Remember the figure of 8 or the infinity sign. Notice how it feels for your body. See how that moves the spine. And it's a great place to notice, those of you who are online, because you have a mirror of yourself. Notice if you have any particular habits, because sometimes you can swishing the hips out to one side. Just notice if you have any tendency or imbalance toward imbalance. Okay, let's get flowy through the arms, right? We did a little bit of that previous classes. Now I see some of you moving with the hands leading. So could you move the arms on the shoulders? Shoulder moves first and then the arm follows. Shoulder moves first and then the arm follows. Don't worry if you're getting it right or not, just front, move your shoulder, let the arm follow. Circle the heart. One direction and the other. So try and keep your shoulders still. So we can show heart forwards, out to the left, out to the back. Circle the head. Then let everything come into center. Right? The waters become still. Lining up through the bones, relax the leg. Let them drop down, rise up the spine. Let the shoulders drop down. And allow the breath to come in, like a wave, relaxing pelvic floor. And exhale goes out. We're just going to reach once. Inhale, reach up. Look up and exhale, come down. Sliding your head down, back to the legs. Draw, release the head. Bend your knee. Inhale, come up and extend your tail back. Head forward. Exhale, go down. Drop, release the head. Inhale, unfolding your spine. Burn, burn, burn. Exhale, down again. Okay, now, so this time, hands down. And I would like for you to circle your right toes out to the side and back into a lunge. Down on the knee. Now get steady through the roots. Right, so get a sense of your feet on the ground, legs dropping down. Once you've got the roots, then we'll be light through the upper body. Inhale, reach up. When the spine rises up, look up. Exhale, open the back body. Inhale, open the front. Exhale, open back.
Inhale, rising up. And exhale, hands down. Knock that right knee and step left leg back. Balance of the weight, the distance between the hands and the feet. And imagine now that your pelvis is like a buoy and it's bobbing around in waves. You're going to send that pelvis to the right, dropping the right outer edge of the ground, and then let it ride the wave, let it float up back to center. Then exhale, let it to the left, sort of your hip tip down. Make sure your pelvis is parallel to the floor. They're in. And if you can, yeah, more time. Exhale, keep the pelvis floating, tipping the right hip down. Inhale, back, and exhale, left side of your pelvis. Inhale, back to center. Lean forward. Bend your elbows, come all the way down. Exhale. Whew. Nice. Keep your hands under your shoulders. Relax your head, relax the low back and your bottom. And with your next in-breath, we're going to lift the legs up, chest rises. Pull back on the hands a little bit. Notice contraction in the low back and bottom. Exhale, relax, low back, bottom. Inhale, up again we go. Pull back on the hands. Lift the legs a little. Exhale, down. Is that okay if you low back? It's nice. It's not that nice. Okay, just go to the edge. And inhale, come in. Exhale, drop the right leg. And relax the bottom. Inhale, pick it up. Relax, be conscious. So if it's too much for those of you who go back to shift, please maybe write it out. Inhale, come up again. I'm going to do the other side, so drop the left leg. Just the left leg, so you keep the right lifted, chest lifted. Inhale, pick it up. Left leg, and exhale, relax everything. Ah. You might want to shake your bottom to help you to relax. We're going to do that again on each side. So inhale up again. Go back on the hands. Exhale, just drop the right leg. Relax the right bottom. Inhale, pick up the exhale, relax everything. Really relax hips, low back. And inhale, pick up. Exhale, drop the left leg, relax your left bottom. Inhale. Up and everything down. And shake out your hips. Low back, relax. Give it a moment to relax. Tuck the toes under, and we'll come on up onto our hands. How is that for you? Was it intense? No, it's good. Okay, so using out any tension now. And then as you exhale, curl the tail between the legs round the back. You might rock back as far as you usually do. Inhale, go forward. You're out. So let your tail unfurl, and as you exhale, curl the tail between the legs. Maybe going a little bit further. One more breath. Rock forward. And exhale your cast. Curling the tail between the legs. You might go a bit further back. Now inhale, rock forwards again. I'd like for us to do a couple on the side. So if you take your hands, walk to the right. Inhale your hand. Exhale, curl the tail between the legs and rock back as far as it's going. Inhale, let the tail unfurl as you go. Curl the tail between the legs. Lovely. You might go a little bit further if it feels good. Back to center as you inhale. Take a Lovely. Inhale, head and tail. Your cow. Exhale, curl the tail between the legs and we. One more. Inhale. Rocking forwards into the cow. And as you exhale, curl the tail between the legs. Inhale, come forward. Okay. Hold the hands back to center. And if you feel you'd like to come up for downward facing, go ahead, send your tail up. Maybe you prefer to do a few more cat cows. Just see what your body needs at this moment. Inhale, bend elbows, knees, and see if you can come back to the breath. The wave breath. Exhale, send your tail. Inhale, and have a play here. If you find that your low back is still a bit stiff, you might even come down and circle your tail on your knees, or you might, wag your tail up here in your dog. Okay, we're going to prepare to come forwards, drop the knees down. Now you can do this in your downward facing dog, but I'm going to show you. So inhale, right knee up, heels over. And as you exhale, slowly take exhale out again towards the front. And inhale back. Left and right, exhale out, side onto the armpit, step foot. So here, set the loose and inhale, jump. Exhale, drop the hands, round the back. Inhale, open front body. Exhale, drop the hands. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, open the front body. Rising up, exhale, down. Lock the back knee and take a little rock and roll now. Not rock and roll, but a bounce forwards and back. Finding the weight in the front leg, tipping your head forwards so that the back leg can float up and step down. Now plant your feet. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, reach again. And exhale down. So begin to bend your knees to go down. See if you can bring your belly in contact with the side, off the head. So then when your head is down, you can straighten the legs as far as it's coming. Inhale, come halfway. Holding, bend your knees, drop the foot. Inhale, bend your spine. Exhale, fold again. And this time we're going to circle the left leg back. Now, are you feeling tension in the low back? Right, so we can do the same thing again, but I'm just going to give you the option. If anybody is feeling that it's low back needs more of a stretch, you can always rock back, straighten back. Okay? Maybe we'll all do that. Okay. Inhale, rock forward. And as you exhale, rock back. Straighten the front leg. Drop release the head. And one more. Inhale. And exhale, rock back. Rock good. Lean forwards. Rock back. Inhale, coming forwards, hands down. And stepping that right leg back into plank. Right, your pelvis is like a buoy on the ocean. Exhale, tip your hip to the right. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, tip to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, tip the hip to the right. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, tip the hip to the left.
Lean forwards on your tippy toes and exhale, bend your elbows all the way down. Whew. How are we doing? Yeah, how are your low back? Good. What's yours on? It's a good achy. Okay, well, you rest this bit out then, okay? Let's see. Inhale, we're going to come up. So really do, if you find that this is too intense, it is quite intense for low back. It's strengthening the low back. But if you have exhale low back issues, it might not be great for you in this moment. Try and check in with yourself. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, drop the left. Inhale, pick up the right or the left. Leave the right. Exhale, release it. Relax your low back. Inhale, come up again. Exhale, release the right leg into gravity. Relax it. Inhale, pick it up. Go back on the hand a little bit. Exhale, release everything to the ground. Now shake your bottom. Try to relax the low back again in the bottom. I'm going to offer you a different variation now to bring the inner thighs towards each other. And with your inhale now, lift up again. Lift up the legs, and as you exhale, open the legs really wide. Let's inhale, bring them back together. Sorry, that was exhale, back together. Inhale, open out again. Exhale, bring them back together. And one more inhale. Open up wide. Exhale, bring them back together. And inhale, open down. Exhale, relax everything. Maybe shake your bottom. Good. Come up onto your hands and knees. We're going to release again with some. Here, as you go back, curl the tail between the legs and really go for rounding out the lower back. You can put your hand on your lower back. Inhale, you're a cow. Exhale, angry, really curling the tail. Tail curl and exhale, walking back. When you go back as far as, and then do a couple to the side, walking your hands to one side, head and tail up. And this time I'm walking to the left, so I'm going to reach my right arm a little bit more. If you walk to your right, reach the left. Now I'm confused. So if you walked to the left, reach your right arm. If you walked to the right, reach the left arm. So just go again, inhale, you're a cow, exhale, rock back. And do two more, inhale. Rocking back, curling the tail between. So how does it feel? Do the other side. Stroll around to the other side. You're reaching one arm longer, and you can see me, I've come onto my fingertip. So I'm going to the right and reach to the left arm. Inhale, rock, forward. And exhale, rock. We curl the tail. Two more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Curl the tail between the legs, walk back. You go back as far as you feel you want. Then we come back to second phase. Those and your exhale, send the tail up. Now, if you feel like you're not ready to do that, like start to feel. Right. Circle
whole body forwards, side, left. Just have a little play, everybody. Whatever feels good for you. Maybe inhale, bending outwards. Okay, and then come on down to your knees. And we're going to pee the dog forward. So with your in breath, lift the leg. Slowly exhaling it out to the side, under the armpit. And just notice if this feels different from side to side. Inhale that. Exhale out to the side. Inhale, slowly traveling back. When you're going back, see if it's different on this side. The next time you forward step. Okay. Lovely. And as you exhale, rock it back. Inhale, rock it forward. Rock. Forward. Over. Exhale, back. Now get ready to step forward. So come off that right knee forwards. You can take the weight out of the standing leg, float in. And then prepare to out of the. Exhale, hands down. Okay. Yeah. How are you feeling? Okay. How's the low back? Okay. If you find that your low back is a bit stiff, something you can do, take the feet wide and just do it a little bit more of the heel, circling. Something you can do. And what you can try just for alternative versions is lift one heel as you draw. I'm drawing my figure of 8 with the tail. Okay, I'll put that heel down and try the other side. Great. Like Elvis. It's like Elvis, yeah. So could you do this in Tesco?
I think
You get a few strange looks, yeah. It's funny, isn't it? That's why we don't do this with interrupts. Because we're probably, it's not socially acceptable, except if you're in a nightclub or something. So, but it's really good for your spine. So see if you can incorporate it.
You do that.
Do it when you're washing dishes. I dare you to do it in Tesco. Okay, so Judith bringing in. That's nice. Shake the bottom. Good way to relax your bottom. Okay. So I'd love for us to do half moon. We're kind of approaching a full moon now. Full moon on Friday. But yeah, it is. It's a full moon eclipse. Okay. So I think this is great. This half moon pose. Traditionally it looks, you put your hands down, but I love to do it with a little bit of extra support. So those of you at home against the couch, if you guys want to see that, there's a bench over there. You could just use the blocks. It's nice to feel really supported. Let me just show you how it works. So you're going to lean in, and I'm going to just use this shelf here. It's a bit lower, but see this, the standing leg. And bending and straightening, and the foot is kind of talking to the ground. Right? And then this leg would be like seaweed. It's nice and floaty. Right? Really getting the movement there in the hip joint. And then we can do the knee in. Doing it quite quickly, but you want to do it slow. Right? Knee bending. And then as the spine extends, let's send the leg back straight. So I have support of the I'll send the leg back. I might bend and straighten the knees.
Opening out. See the way the hip is moving upwards towards the ceiling. So all that bending and straightening that we do is to really help encourage the muscle of the bone to strengthen. Right? If we just go into the shape of bing, sometimes we're just using the outer body. So try that. We will play. Circling the knee out to the side, really practicing that with the dog movement. So if your low back is actually like come up even onto the chair, if you to support your low back, well, unless it feels really good to you, it's your choice. That's it. You can come into try bending and straightening the standing leg as well, Adrian. Knee out to the side. Let me see the knee go out forwards and out to the side. And how does the spine respond in relationship to? Let me see this. The knee go out to the side. Knee out to the side. Right. When you're circling it, like a dog. Think of a dog peeing up against a tree. May help your body get the movement. Yeah. Yeah, oh, change legs, please do, yeah. It's a good one, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So, if you haven't done this before, you may find that it's a lot of work for your hip. Okay. So some of you are coming into the full expression. Some of you are just loosening up the hips. You loving it? No. I'm just going to show you the full expression of the pose. So I'm moving my leg from the hip. See the way it's very light then? I move it from the hip. So I can straighten everything then, but I'm still holding it from the hip. And then you can try reverse, right? See what happens there? Drawing the knee straight in towards the belly and sending the head back. The opposite. I just check in, gather myself back into the bones. Have you had enough of that? Oh God, it's like that. Huh?
I'm good with that.
You're good with that. The hips are going to feel it tomorrow. Adrian says he doesn't want to go to A&E. Okay, well, let's come down then. Those of you, some of you might be still playing with the phone. Down through a squat. Oh, nice. Might feel really nice to go forward. You can do a little down. I really wanted to do one of Carmel's favorite things, which is the rusty gate. Okay, so if you want to try this, come onto your back. This is a pose that's my teacher, Patty McGrath, taught us years ago. She used to call it hip surgery, actually. But, so we'll just have a look first. So this is called thread the needle pose. First of all, see, this is my right leg, and foot is down on the ground, and then I'm taking the left foot and bringing it to the top of the right leg, near the knee. Now go ahead and flex the foot. Right, draw the toes back towards the knee to protect the knee, and you're just going to wag the knee in and out, right? And I call it rusty gate because it's like you're putting some grease in the hip there. Right? Imagine you're putting some oil on the hip hinge. Right? And then you can draw the knee in and just rock forwards and back. a little bit. You can use your hand if you like, but just be very gentle towards your joints here. You don't want any tension in your knee joints. Now, the next stage is going to roll all the way over to the right. You're rolling all the way over to the right. And then bring your left, the sole of the left foot to the inner thigh. So bring it up close to the groin. If it goes, sole of the foot onto the inner thigh. Does that make sense? And then you're just going to grease the gate again. Right, draw the knee in towards the belly and then drop it down towards the floor. Draw the knee in towards the belly and then drop it down towards the floor. And you may find that the more times you do it, the easier the knee might come a little closer towards. Squeezing it up.
Hope that makes sense. So makes sense. Your foot is sliding, but yeah. You can hold it. And then it ends.
I don't know if I can do that.
I probably can. Just hold it. Balls up. Yeah, a lot of people get the sense when they're doing this that they're going to break their leg, because their leg's going to fall off. But it's a ball and socket joint, so your knee can go closer to the floor. It's only muscularly holding you there. Okay. You don't get it, yeah. A lot of people don't get it. Okay. Hope it makes some sense. Making sense to you? So can I change leg? Yeah, change leg. Just need to relax. All this. Can you feel that? Okay. Okay. See the way it's kind of open up. Just hold it. Just trust. Okay. Sorry, I disappeared. That was good to give somebody an adjustment. I haven't done that in so long.
So the thing that a lot of people here in the class are finding is that they don't sort of trust that the leg is can go that way. I'll just show you the other side. So your right leg, flex the foot, bring the foot up near close by the ankle. You wag the knee. Maybe you've already done the other side. Draw the knee in and just do a little bit of a rock. And then come onto the side, your left side. Foot is on the inner thigh, and you can hold it in place, but just be kind to your ankle. And then you see what happens. You draw the knee in. Now your thigh bone is, at the end of it is a ball, right? So what I see is people are stopping here and going, no, my leg can't go any further. But it's actually just muscularly holding you there. So if you relax, you may find that your knee can come all the way to the floor.
Right. Yeah, okay, and Lorraine is saying the right side is a lot different, so you might find it It's a really weird one, isn't it? You know, okay. Yeah. But just, yeah, you're a bit like a butterfly, flapping wings. And that's nice because the back of the pelvis just for a bit of containment. Make that you might get some slightly different. Learning to trust the bones, understanding, rather than holding Jesus out of all your legs. Right? And if you do a lot of athletic, there's you a lot of cycling or running, sometimes we can have quite a lot of muscle tone in the legs. But I found what really changed my practice after doing yoga for about 10 years, I realized I was holding my legs in a class with my teacher, and I just let them go. Sometimes that can happen. You realize, oh, I'm holding my leg and just let them go, and it can bring you so much more comfort. Not saying everybody does it. Some people don't have any holding. I've seen people who are just totally floppy as well. So it's balance. Okay, I know that's a weird one, but I hope you enjoyed playing with it. Yeah, it does feel weird. I don't know why, but we can hold a lot of stuff in our hips, and it can sometimes for people who feel emotional to move the hips in this way.
Oh, no, I wouldn't even like joint. Something stretched. It's
Okay.
not now, but
Yeah,
just over the last few months, maybe that was.
yeah. It's interesting to come up and roll up and cross your legs after doing. Some of you are just playing at home now because it's playtime. So if there's anything else you'd like to do, maybe it's returning to something that we did earlier in the class. We're doing a bit of Yanushashasana. That's lovely. Yeah. And Paschimottanasana. We were doing that last week. We did that last week. Remember the west side stretch? It's lovely.
Yeah.
What was that west side stretch again? This is the west side stretch. Over to length, front of the spine. So hopefully you've all stretched and get yourselves ready. Shavasana. Inviting the whole body to come and drop and rest. If your hips feel okay. I'll be feeling them tomorrow. There's an extra room downstairs. Very nice.
Just turned it on.
We started.
I know this. And at the start of this section.
So let the whole body rest. So, you know, when you have noise interference, it's a good practice of, you know, if you're, some people find it very, very distracting noise, but can you re-perceive it as sound? Rather than seeing it as noise, see it as sound. So everyone at home, inviting your whole body to drop and rest into gravity. And seeing if you can connect again to the support of the ground, the physical earth. And invite the inner body to soften and open. So invite the weight of the head to drop. And bring your attention to the skin on the forehead. And maybe you can imagine the skin on the forehead like a lake, the surface of a lake. And imagine a droplet of water dropping onto the surface. And it creates ripples, ripples of relaxation that move back through the skull and through the front brain. Imagine another droplet of water dropping between the eyebrows. And inviting that sense of relaxation to spread. Begin to relax the backs of your eyes. Imagine them widening to receive the eyeballs. And you might imagine your two eyes like two cups of tea. You're tipping your tea to the right, to the left, up and down. Maybe swishing it in a circle. And then let the waters settle and rest. Relaxing the teeth now on the upper part of your jaw. And releasing the weight of the lower jaw. Relaxing the teeth. Relax your lips. Relax the inside of the mouth. Relax the tongue from tip, center, root. And invite that sense of relaxation down the throat. And invite it to move out through the muscles and skin of the neck. Allow your attention like warm water to flow down into your shoulders as you relax the shoulders. Imagine that warm water flowing down the arms, As you relax the upper arms, elbows, forearms, relax your wrists. Relax palms, fingers and thumbs. And let that warm water flow and fill the flesh of the back body. Inviting the ribs and the spine to rest, pelvis to rest into the back body. Maybe imagine your heart and your lungs like sea creatures settling into the back body. And the organs underneath the diaphragm, softening and opening. Travel down then through the seaweed garden of your intestine, relaxing. As you travel all the way down into the deep waters of the pelvis. Maybe imagine that like warm water traveling outwards, irrigating the tissues of the low back, the hips and bottom. Irrigating the tissues of the pelvic floor, the groins, and let it flow down into your thighs, relaxing thighs. Let it flow into your knees, relaxing your knees. Let it flow down your lower legs, relaxing your calves, shins, and ankles. Relax the tops of the feet, soles of the feet, and relax each one of your toes. Inviting the whole body now to soften and open. Relax the whole body. So you bring your attention back to the body, back to the breath. And just see if you can soften, open a little bit more through all the tissues. As if the water is reaching all parts of the body, inside the container of your body. Watching the wave of your breath coming in and going out. And we're softening to receive that breath wave fully. And then allowing it to go. And bring your attention to the fingers and toes. As you inhale, opening fingers, opening toes. And as we exhale, relaxing. Inhale, opening again. Exhale, relaxing. And then inhale, reaching the arms overhead. Reaching down through the legs. You drawing the knees in, taking a little rock and roll. And come all the way over onto your side. And then as you do, see if you can drop into gravity and soften, open again. And then slowly come on up. See if you can keep your attention fluid in your body. And now see if you can drop the weight of the pelvis into gravity. Drop the weight of the legs into gravity. Imagine that they're filled with water, they're heavy, and rise up front spine. And maybe just sway your spine from side to side as you encourage it to rise up. Relax your shoulders, and let the head rest on the top of the spine. Now making a bowl with the hands, the left hand over the right, the thumbs arching upwards. And as we inhale, we relax all the way down, belly, pelvic floor. And exhale, allowing the breath to go out. Take a couple more breaths. And if you'd like to, you can use this breath to chant our final 3 ohms. So take a nice inhale. Oh. 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 Namaste. Thank you all for coming. Ah, okay, I better stop the recording. Thanks, everybody. No, don't stop the recording.
Thank you, Orla.